Hello, girls and boys. Welcome to Storytime Fun. We hope you enjoy it. Today's story is out of the Walt Disney Storyland book. Favorite stories are adapted from Walt Disney films. And the stories were selected by Francis Saldinger. Today's story is called Hiawatha. In the far-off Indian country lived a boy called Hiawatha. More than anything else, Hiawatha wanted to learn to become a great hunter. One day, Hiawatha paddled his canoe across a shining lake until he came to a green island. Many little animals were scampering around the island, so Hiawatha landed his canoe and waded ashore. Eagerly, Hiawatha looked at the animals around him. Here were squirrels, birds, beavers, rabbits, and even a fawn to stalk. Hiawatha aimed his arrow at a little rabbit. But before he could shoot, the laughing animals had scampered away and were safe in their holes. Hiawatha was turning to go when he saw strange tracks on the ground. Quickly, he bent down to study them. He was sure he had never seen them before, and his heart beat high. Perhaps I have found a new kind of animal, he thought. Suddenly a shrill whirring startled him. Before him, rubbing his wings together, stood a giant cricket. This was the new kind of animal Hiawatha had found. Speechless, Hiawatha stared at the cricket. Then with a yelp, Hiawatha fled. Of course, many little eyes watched Hiawatha's flight, squealing and chirping with laughter. The forest animals popped out of their holes. Hiawatha's afraid of a cricket, they cried. Shamefaced, Hiawatha stopped running. But the little animals could not stop laughing. Afraid of a cricket? A little rabbit choked, drumming his paw on the ground. Oh my, afraid of a cricket. Hiawatha's face turned redder. No impudent little rabbit was going to make fun of him. Grabbing his bow and arrow, Hiawatha chased the rabbit. The rabbit ran and dodged among the great tree trunks, but at last Hiawatha cornered him. He aimed his arrow. Trembling, the little rabbit sat up and begged for mercy. In spite of himself, Hiawatha was touched. Oh, all right, he said crossly. Shoo! Scat! You won't get off so easily again. The rabbit ran off, and immediately Hiawatha was surrounded by joyful, grateful animals. Seeing how friendly they were, Hiawatha made a resolution. He swore never to hunt them again. He took his bow and arrow and smashed them across his knee. Since he no longer wanted to be a hunter, Hiawatha decided to become an explorer. He started off to explore the island and soon found great paw marks on the ground. Creeping forward quietly, Hiawatha followed the mysterious paw marks. Suddenly, there he was, face to face with a bear cub hidden behind a rock. The cub squealed with fear and dashed off as fast as his shaggy little legs could carry him. Hiawatha ran after him. He did not understand why the cub should be frightened. "Stay and play with me," he shouted. "Stay and play with me." But the cub would not listen to Hiawatha. He headed for his cave, with Hiawatha close behind. Suddenly, Hiawatha made a pounce. He felt something shaggy. "Got you!" he laughed and wrapped his arms tightly around the squirming cub. But then a terrible roar shook the forest. This was no cub. This was the mother bear he had caught. Again the chase started. Hiawatha fled, panic-stricken from the roaring mother bear. Fortunately, Hiawatha's new forest friends saw his danger. The beavers pounded out an SOS. The first to answer were the weasels. "Quick, this way!" they urged Hiawatha. He fled past them, and behind him they spread out a trap of vines for the furious mother bear. Then the friendly beavers took over. At the riverbank, Hiawatha dashed out on a tree trunk. The beavers ferried him across. The mother bear hesitated a moment at the cold water, but then she too plunged in and crossed over. When he had crossed the river, Hiawatha climbed a tree. Unfortunately, the mother bear climbed up the tree right after Hiawatha. Hiawatha would have been caught had not the squirrels helped him down. Quickly they set him in a harness hitched to the fawn and pressed the reins into his hands. "Giddy up!" they shouted, and Hiawatha was off. By Fawn Express, Hiawatha was carried swiftly through the forest. Soon the growls of the bear faded out behind him, and he knew he was safe. When they came to the lake, Hiawatha climbed into his canoe. "Goodbye," he called to all his new forest friends. "I'll be back soon." A happy Hiawatha turned the bow of his canoe homeward. He had not learned to become a great hunter, but he knew that he had made many new friends. Well, that's it for today. We'll see you next time.